What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here. In front of me we have two amazing firearms, some of the best values in the firearm industry right now, just overlooked by many people, and I don't understand why. We have the CZ P-10M coming in at $292. I just saw it online today. $292. And you're getting a CZ with CZ quality. Even though it's a single stack and it's a little late to the game, I think they knocked it out of the park. We're going to go over what I like about it, what I don't like about it, stuff like that. Then the CZ P-10S. This is the bigger version. This is the subcompact. It's somewhere in between a Glock 19 and a Glock 26 with this magazine extension from Hive base plates. It's actually the same length as a 19, but a little shorter in the slide, and it's 15+1 in this setup. Awesome, awesome firearm, and this is probably your best value right out of the box, which we'll get into. The P-10M. What I like about it, I do like single stacks, and I also have a base plate from CZ Custom that comes down to there and makes it a 10+1 setup, being the same exact size as the Glock 43X with the same exact capacity. And no, we're not talking Shield Arms Max. The finish on these CZs are absolutely flawless. They're absolutely great. There's gonna be no rust issues. They just look really nice. They're really clean. The texturing is on point. I mean, even with your pinky hanging off, you get a great purchase on this firearm. And your hand gets right underneath that slide. I mean, right underneath that slide. Really handles recoil well. Really nice. Also, you have a rail, so you can mount basically any light you want to this. Smaller lights, obviously. But it makes it for a nice compact carry, a light carry. You know, walking the dog, going to the park. Or I'm an active person. I just want something lighter to carry around. I still trust CZs. I still trust single stacks with my life, regardless of capacity. It's more about the training for me. Now, they come with nice 3-dot sights that are metal, so they are better than Glocks. But the one thing I don't like is they aren't night sights. They are photorescent phosphorus sights where light charges them. So basically, you need light to charge them up. So if they're holstered all day and under your shirt, they're not going to be charged. Therefore, they're not going to work in the dark. I don't like the concept, but I get it. It's only $292, so you can spend $50, $60 to throw some night sights on it. Not a big deal. Now, what people don't like about it is there's no slide release. A lot of people, when chambering around, they don't go like this. They don't slingshot it, which is the way you're supposed to handle a firearm. You're supposed to slingshot. It's not supposed to be a slide release all the time. But a lot of people, that's what they do. They go boom. You know, when the slide's locked back, they go boom. I don't do that because that's how you get more likely a failure to feed, right? So I always slingshot it regardless. Therefore, the slide release doesn't really affect me. But for taking down and stuff like that, you're going to have the mag in to get it locked back, which isn't a big deal. But I always slingshot anyways, and I'm good to go. So I'm not too worried about it. But for people who rely on the slide release, and that's the way they've trained their whole life, this may be a no-go for you. The other thing that may be a no-go for you is there isn't a lot of holster options. But Vetter does make an awesome, awesome, awesome holster for the CZ P-10M. And what I did is, because I love Vetter holsters, I went out and bought a 3M or a 3 Plus from Ulticlip. This is their best Ulticlip yet. Threw it on my Vetter holster, and I now have a beltless IWB carry. That's awesome. On top of that, I have the OWB paddle holster from Vetter. Love it with my CZ P-10M. Absolutely love it at the range. I mean, just a great setup, great retention, looks clean, looks smooth. I just kept it simple with black, and this is a great way to go right here. You can get these two things for under $400. So you can have a reliable CZ firearm with 2 magazines, decent sights, great ergonomics, and a holster for under $400. You can't really beat something like that. So shout out to Vetter for making great stuff. Anyways, the thing that I don't like the most about it, but at the same time I get why they did it, is that trigger. Now, I love the shape of the trigger. It just works. I also like that there's a good amount of room in there for getting a glove finger in there. But a lot of people say it's not the regular CZ P-10 series trigger, which it isn't. It is heavier, but it is crisp, it is clean, and oh my goodness, you know when you're about to check this out, right? The reset's pretty short, but just so crisp. Listen to that. Just a good trigger. And what I consider that is a self-defense everyday carry trigger. You don't want something that's going to go off. You're in a stressful situation. You were just in a self-defense encounter. You're not thinking. Your finger's on the trigger still, and you accidentally pull it because adrenaline's running through you. It's a trigger that's going to say, hey, this wall is so defined. You know, you're pulling the trigger. You know you're going to pull the trigger. But look, you can put a lot of force on it, and nothing goes off. But when you want it to go, it's nice, crisp, clean, predictable. That's what I meant to say earlier when I was stuttering. Awesome firearm. Can you beat it? If you love single stacks, this is a gem right here. Next up, the CZ P-10S. Normally, it comes with a flush mag right here. That is 12 rounds. So if you could imagine that right here, that would be the size of it, which we can compare like this. See, much wider, obviously. Same height, but 5 extra rounds in this. But anyways, this has everything that has. A great slide. It has the same exact sights, which are nice sights. They're just not night sights. They're nice sights, not night sights. Great finish, like I keep saying. I really like the memory pads. Oh yeah, that's what I forgot to put on here. The memory pads. A place to remember to keep your finger off the trigger is always crucial. I love it because your brain will automatically think every time you touch this pattern, okay, my finger's off the trigger. That's where it should be. Then also for fighting recoil, you have a little bit of a traction, a little bit of a grip to help fight recoil, which is really nice. Also, look at that trigger guard. It leaves you so much room for gloved fingers. If you live in a cold state like I do, it's absolutely perfect. Also comes with a rail. Also has the great CZ texturing. Literally, it glides like butter. These firearms literally glide like butter. I mean, they're just so clean. And they've both been 100% reliable. There's a 15+1 setup. Like I said, look where your hand sits. So high up, right beneath that slide. But you'll never have to worry about getting slide bite. And that trigger is just, oh, ready? Woo! Watch this reset. I mean, and that thing springs back so nice. Not the point where it pushes your finger too far, but just enough. I mean, it's just right. It's a great trigger. These two are awesome firearms, and this is about $350 on Buds right now. $350. So you can get these two things for under $450. I mean, if you were to get the holster that fits this, obviously. But I mean, absolutely awesome firearms. Absolutely love this thing. Super ergonomic for both of them. Trust my life with both of them. Both great shooters. The heavier trigger is more centered around defense, and this is just a more overall do-it-all pistol, right? You can use it for home defense, everyday carry. You can't really pocket carry it, but you could with this. But think about it. These two firearms right here, $650 or $700. Can you believe that? That's an insane price. Think about that for a second. You can't even get a X macro for the price of these two. If you got this combo right here, that's like a Glock MOS. I mean, unbelievable. Great deals. I still give it up to the CZ for being the best deal right out of the box. Thanks for watching.